Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to do a playthrough of the forest expansion for Dark Force Incursion. As you can see in the image here, it's an A4 or letter size sheet, and it's basically got a series of forts as you would in the standard game, plus a whole range of forests. These are scattered around the map and will block your path, but they're not like mountains. You don't die. There's a different rule that applies to these little blighters. So we will have a look and give it a go. So let's see and dive in. Okay, so we are playing the Liberal region, forest region, and it's the fourth map of the first series of forest maps for Dark Force Incursion. This is part of the expansion pack, which you get the rules with, that can be downloaded from DrivethrRPG. So let's play. Right, so this is the starting point here, and the first thing is I will write in the numbers into this space here, then roll from here. So we get a 4. Write the numbers in clockwise and draw in the army. 3 going from this bottom one. Got a fort over here, a fort up here as well. And from the same one, 4. Go from this one, 6. Draw the army. Happens to match up with this one here, so we've got 2 1s. I'm going to go from this one again. 3, 2 or 1 would be good. 1 takes me slightly south, and I think I'm going to roll from this one here. 6 or 5 or 4 be good. 2, right, that takes me there. 2 and a 5, so they're not matching, so you draw in a Dark Force army. Got 6, 5, 4 here. 6, excellent. Takes me near the fort. Draw that in. Got to recapture the forts as part of the main theme of the game. And on this one here, I need 2 to capture the fort. If I get a 3, it takes me 1, 2, 3 round the back of the fort. So we'll have to see how that goes. Because the forest throws you round. So you get a 1. There. And I'm going to roll from this one here. 6 would be good. I get a 2, so that matches up with the 5 of the Dark Force army. Now, on this new map, we have, and you can probably see here, on the side, we've got some counters. So we've had 2 Dark Force armies already. I'm going to cross off 2 of those up the top here, which shows that if you get 25 armies, then you've been overwhelmed by the Dark Force Incursion. We're going to roll from this one here. So we need a 6. We get a 3, which takes us in the opposite direction. In fact, we've got another matching army here. So there's a bit of a battle in this area. You can see my armies and the Dark Force armies. I'm going to go back to this one up here. If I get a 2, that is the number that we want. So we get a 5, which is another Dark Force army. Goes in here. And I cross another one off over on the side. Okay, I'll try and roll from that one again. A 2 would be good. And I get a 2. Which means I capture that fort. That is now my fort. I can tick it off over on the other side that I have a fort. Right, now we need to make some progress up to the north here. I'm going to roll from the starting hex and see what we get. So we got a 1, which is exactly what we want, and then we roll from this one. and we get 1 again. Doubles are always bad in this game because it reflects this number that's already got an army on it, and the Dark Force army has located it. So I have to block off this hex here. Can't access that hex. Go from this top one up here. So we get a 2, which is actually a Dark Force army there. Take another one of those off on the side. And then we've got, from the top again, we get a 6, and that actually takes us in a different direction. Army's deflected, and its path leads away to the side. Now, I do have 4 over on this side of the map, over here. So we'll try and move in that direction. I'm going to use this hex. 5, which is a Dark Force army. Actually, I'm getting quite a lot of Dark Force armies early in the game. Cross another of those off from the same hex. I get a 2 to draw the numbers in. And my army, right. So I'm going to try and roll from that one. I get a 3. This really cramps me up. So I've got another army appeared there, matching numbers. Doesn't often occur like that. So we'll go from this top one. A 6, 1 or 2 would be good. Get a 1. Takes me up into this region here now. It's quite a forested area over here. So what we'll do is, even if we go into these forests, it might not be such a bad thing. We might come out the other side. So just to see how that goes. I get a 1, which isn't what we want. So that blocks off this hex here. So throw from this one here. 3, 4, 5 would be good. I get a 4, takes me up into the forest area. So this could be interesting. Right, so I will roll from this one. If I get a 6, I can spring around the forest and appear on the other side. I get a 1. The exception rule is that if you get a 1, it doesn't take you out of your own hex. You can bump it along to the next hex and manage to escape out. Now, if this hex was occupied here, then that would mean that the original hex would be blocked because the army was lost in the forest. So 1 bumps it, keeps it in the same hex, and then you then bump it around to the next hex as they have escaped. You don't draw any army in unless, as in this situation, you get 2 numbers that match, which is those 3s there. So I have to draw that army in there. And I drew the 1 up against the nearest forest edge as well. It's important to note. See here. So the 1 was up against the forest. I rolled the 1 and it bumped to there. It took me to there, counting the forest sides, because you go around the forest sides. And because I was already in the same hex, it bumped me round to there. Now we're rolling from this hex here. I'm going to roll. I get a 5. Okay, that takes me down here. So maybe I'll have a look at rolling from this one. You've got to reduce your risks and think about your strategies as you play this game. I think I am going to go from this one here. I get a 4. You can just see that there. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So my army could hit the forests, but it could go up and it could hit this forest as well, which will take it round to this edge here. So let's have a look. Rolling from this hex, I get a 5, which takes me down here, down to that area there. So what we've got here is a situation. If I now, as you build up more armies around, more hexes around the forest, there's more risk of you losing your army in the forest. Right, let's have a look at this here. I'm going to roll from this one here. 6 or 1, a 6. Okay, so now in this particular situation, the 6 is up to the forest. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and it takes me round to here. on the opposite side of the forest. So I've kind of appeared on the other side of the forest. I'm going to roll from this new hex here and see what happens. I roll a 6 again. Right, so if we zoom in on this particular section, so the 6 is here. I've rolled 6 again. So what that means is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is bad news. So what that ultimately results in is this, because we've gone so far around, we've come out and we've got lost. And the original hex is blocked. Just like that. Because you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you appear where you've been before, the Dark Force has come and in a sense blocks it, or you're lost in the forest. This original one does not get blocked. That's important to note. And I can roll from that one again. If I rolled a 6, that would result in this hex being blocked, because if you follow 6 around as we've done already, this one is a blocked and already an occupied space, so that would then block this one, and then you wouldn't be able to roll from that one. Right, I'm going to try and roll from let's try, we want to try and get past, try these options here so we can get to this fort, see what happens. So I'm going to try for this one again, and I roll a 4 this time, which means I go around clockwise to the next clear space, and I draw in here a 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and block off that hex because it was a 4, in a sense a double from that space, which blocks the next available hex. Getting over to this fort is looking increasingly unlikely. Although it's not completely blocked off, it's very slim chance of me getting through to here now. Although if I roll from here, this 6 up against the forest would take me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into this space. So we could try that. Let's try from this hex here. And again, introducing the new forest rules, it opens up new strategy. So I'm going to roll from this hex here, and I get a 6, which is lucky. So from here I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can place the new tile in here, which kind of takes me behind that blocked range. Right, so that there takes me into the zone, if you like. You can see that when we look at it, you've got the 6 here, and you go round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you write a 6 on the edge where it corresponds with, and then that goes in just like that. And now I can get round the back because I've gone through the forest rather than having the region blocked off. So let's try that here. I get a 5, takes me up north. I'm going to roll from that same one again up here. 5. It's probably the worst roll I could get. Now 5 is a double, and so it goes around to the next hex, cycles around, and this one is blocked because it's a double. I'm going to roll from that same one, see if I can get around the top. I need a 1 or 2. I get a 3. Now that takes me to the forest here. So what I need to do is count 1, 2, 3, and then the army appears on the other side of the forest, over this side. You don't draw an army in, it just appears. And then I'm going to roll from this one again. 4. Now that is a forest. Okay, so the forest is there. So go 1, 2, 3, 4. Already got an occupied space there, so we can't enter that space, and the original hex that you roll from is lost. There, we can't roll from that one again. That is now blocked. That up there you can roll from to try and get around this side. This top one up here, it's got a 4 as an option. A 3 would take 1, 2, 3, take us down here, as would a 2. So So 2 takes us south. Just like that. I'll try again. I need a 4. 2 is probably one of the worst results we could get. So we have to write the 2 in up here, and it blocks this hex as well. It's a double army has been tracked by the Dark Force. That is blocked off there. This one over here is looking increasingly unlikely. What we'll do is we'll move over to one of these other forts and try for this one over here. Seeing we have actually got some hexes here that might be handy. So we're going to roll from this one here, 3 or 4, and I get a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. Got to keep going clockwise, and at that point, because you're behind it, you want to go the other way, but that's anti-clockwise. So it appears down here, and that's not really much good for me. I will try again from this spot with 3 or 4. We get the 6 again, and that, because that takes us back around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This space, this original hex is blocked off. The army is lost, which is absolutely cruel. But we do have this one down here we can roll from, and that one at the top. I'm going to try this one at the top because it doesn't actually affect much. I get a 5, which leads us off the edge of the map, and when that happens, you block the hex that you roll from because the army is lost, and that up there is completely blocked off. Right, so down here we have a blank space here. We're going to roll from a 5, 6, 1 or 2, and we'll get a space. A 6 is good. 6, just like so, and then I'm going to roll from this one again. We get a 1. That takes us 1 around that way, which leads us to a blocked space, which is not good. And that means that this space is blocked off, okay? Which is quite debilitating. We're now getting this wall of blocked hexes come around here. I'm just having a look. Because of the clockwise nature of the rules, we will get caught up in this area here. So I'm going to try and roll from this space here. This one down here. I need a 1 or 2 to move it further down here. I get a 6, which means I have to rotate this round clockwise and put a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then block that hex off because it's in a sense a double because I've already got an army with a 6 there, which is even worse. We are now in a really bad situation. So let's have a look at this hex here. We have 3. We have 1 army on it, and it's up against a forest. So here, roll from this one. That's a 4. That puts me in this space above, into kind of like a cul-de-sac. There's not a lot going to be happening here. So we're going to roll from the same one again. Can't really roll from any of that. Although, having said that, I could roll a 3. I've got an army appeared in there like that, because I've got a double number there. I could roll a 3, and that would take me out along the forest line. But it's quite risky. Right, so we're going to go from down here. A 4. That is an army there already, so in a sense a double. So we're going to roll going to put a 4 in here, and that is blocked off, which is pretty tough really. I've got 2 forts up in this side of the map, and they're starting to get blocked off big time. Okay. Let's go down this way instead. We've got 3 forts down here. If we claim 3 forts down here, then we are in a better position. Let's just have a little look here. So we've got 3 forts down the bottom. We've got 3 forts at the top. They're looking increasingly difficult to get my hands on because of these blocked off spaces, barricaded spaces your armies can't penetrate. So I'm going to head south and see if we can get this fort down here. Right, so we're going to roll from this one here. 2, 3 or 4 would push us into this zone. A 3, perfect. Put the army in there. Roll from this one. We get a 6, which is excellent, making a beeline for the fort to recapture it. And we need a 3 for this one. We get a 4. It's not the end of the world. And then we're going to roll from this one again. A 3 is what we need. I get a 2. 5 is what we needed, sorry. I get a 2, and that takes us in this direction. Alright. Let's roll from this one here. I need a 3 to capture the fort. I get a 4, which actually is probably one of the worst ones. So we're going to put 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 here and block off that fort. I'm going to try again. I need a 3. Block off that hex. I need a 3 here. And I get a 3. Excellent. That means I have captured that fort. It is forever mine. And I will put that up there. So we get 1 fort here. And 1 fort over there. So we've got 2 forts liberated. We need to go south. So we've got a little section here, which we're going to try and cross. So there's an area here. This area here we want to try and get across. So we'll do that. Right. Okay. I need to roll from this one. 6, 5, 4, 3. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Sat from this one here, we're going to roll 2. So we get a forest. So we have to go clockwise around it. 1, 2 takes us south. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Which is great because now we're right next to the fort. See if we can get that fort. We needed a 4. 1. Now 1 is here. Now we've got the forest next to it, it goes into the forest. Because it's only a 1, one bumped around keeps us in our hex, we then bump it onto the next available hex, which is here. And we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, there's no army drawn in here at the moment because of the forest. So we have 2 opportunities here to capture this fort. What I'm going to do is roll from this top one first. A 3 or 4 is pretty sound. I get a 5 and matches up with a 2. Okay, so that's a Dark Force. I'll put one of those on my list on the side here. I'm going to try again. I need a 4. I get a 5 again. Okay, so what that means is we bump it round to the next one, block it like so, and we've got an army match there. I'm going to try and roll from this bottom one down here. 5, we get a 5, takes us down south. I'm going to try again, I need a 3. I get a 1. Okay, so we get a 1. Now if we count 1 along, it takes us out of our hex, and you can see that that hex is occupied already. And at that point, what we do is we block the original hex that we came from with that one. So we're close, but there's an army on our tail, and it's blocking off the areas. We have 4 in there that would take us onto the fort. I need to roll a 4 to claim this fort. And I get a 1. Okay, so 1 here takes us up to the forest, but the forest, so we need to bump round. If we look, it takes us bump around 1. Okay, still not in the forest, so we bump it around again, and it takes us to this occupied hex already, which means that this one is blocked. Our army is lost. If the result in rule leads you to a occupied hex, even blocked or whatever, then you have to block the original as the army is lost. So we've got a line of these blocked hexes around this fort. Let's have a look at this bottom one down here. If we get a 6, it brings us out of trouble You can see it's down this side of the map at the moment. If we get a 6 here, then that would be pretty sweet. We get a 5, which is probably one of the worst results you can get. So 5 is the double, which means we've got a double here, and we have to move it around to this one here, which is a blocked hex there, which is not good. So around this 4 at the moment, we have the 4 blocked hexes. I'm going to try this bottom one here and see if we can get a 4 and then bring it around. We get a 2. Takes us south, and then we'll try from that one again. We need a 4. We get a 6, which is a dark army. In fact, we needed a 1 there, because that looks like a 4. That's another dark army. So we need a 1 to take us into the next zone. I get a 6, which means that we cycle round, and this becomes a dark army. I get another 6, and we cycle around again. This becomes a dark army, so let's put 2 on there. So the 6 and the 3 means there's a dark army. If there's no more dark armies, we have to block the next. No armies available to take over. In fact, we're losing this battle big time here, as you can see. Then it will start blocking. 4 up here. That takes us, that doesn't block, that is a army going through there. Right, we're going to roll from that original, because I want to see if we're blocking this side off. Let's try this here. We need a 1. And, believe it or not, we get a 1. Takes us through the shortcut. We need 3 or 4 to take us over this side. And we get a 1, which is the one we just had, which is pretty bad. So we need to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that hex becomes blocked. And we're really stuck down here now. I can get a 4 and take us into this zone, and then I need to get a 6 to take us out through the forest. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, down here, 1, that takes us round and blocks this hex off, because we already have a 1 rolled. And that is blocked, that 1 there. Okay, so as you can see, we've got this whole area here is blocked off, and up here though we've got a couple of numbers, so we're going to try these. We've got a 4 and a 3 on this one here. We've got 3, moves the army there, and then I'm going to try this same one, a 6. So that's quite interesting. So that takes us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that then goes up here. It takes us, we appear on this side of the forest. So don't forget, it's clockwise with the forests. We're going to roll from this one up here. So we get a 5. All right. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts us 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've kind of been stumbling through the forest here. Going to roll from this one again. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. So we're now near this 4 over here. And a 2, 3 or 4 would really work out well. So we get a 1, which is probably the worst roll you could get. And not having a lot of luck. This one here, we need a 4 or 5, and I get a 1 again. Unbelievable! Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 1 there, it fires around clockwise, because it's a double. It goes in like that, which is a nightmare. Right. So we have got this 4 over here blocked off twice now with these areas here, so difficult to get through. We need to get around to this forest. Maybe we can fight our way through the forest to the 4. We need a 5 to go down south from this one here, the one where I've rolled 3 1s already. I rolled a 6, and that matches up there. So we've still got access to this fort over here, I'm tempted to roll from this one again here, and that means if we do that, if we've got a higher chance, we've got some numbers we could roll. Let's have a look. I get a 6, which again is a shocking roll. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that puts us with a blocked hex there because it's a double. And well, I mean, we could roll from that same hex again and try. Let's try that. We get a 4, which isn't so bad. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and we're into this zone here. Now that matches up that army there. So this one here is near to this 4 over here. So we're going to roll. Let's roll here. When you're 1, 6, or 5, and we get a 2. 1, 2. Occupied space. We followed around the forest. The army gets lost, and this hex is blocked, which is a shocker. Okay, so we got this one here. We need a 3. If we get a 2, it takes us out this side. Maybe we can come around to the forest here and claim the fort around this side. But we've got a situation here where the chances are pretty slim. So we need a 3, and we get a 1, which is a dark army. 1 and a 6. Tick that off up here. We'll try the same one again. We get a 6. That is a double from one of the armies we've got already. 6 is still one of my armies, so it's a double. I cycle it around to here, and that hex is blocked off. It's a real dogfight here in this game. Look at this. All these pathways being blocked off. We've got potentially this one here. You can get a 2. But I'm going to roll from this one first. This one here, up here, you've got a 2 or 1. Okay, and it'll take us down further. I get a 3, which again, I am rolling terribly. So 3 takes us cycles around because it's a double, an army's there already. The 3 goes in here. And that blocks off that hex. It's looking really slim now. I mean, look, I've got these ones here. I've been running 4s, 6s, or 2s. This one at the top here, it's a, what are the chances? This one's a better chance, I think. What we'll do is we'll go with that on a 2. We need a 2, okay? And we get a 6, which actually is up against the forest. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where we've already been. We haven't rolled from that one. And it blocks that one off because it's an occupied space. When you come out, the army's lost. And we've got a 4 here on this one. We need a 4 to go south. And we get a 1, which is a dark army up here. And you increase the chances of the armies appearing as the board becomes more populated. And then we've got this hex here. We need a 4, the same hex again. I get a 1 again. Now that consumes a dark that consumes one of my own armies there because it's a dark army combo. And this one here I need a 4. 6. 6 takes me up here. And an army goes in there. Look at this space here. What are the chances? It's pretty dangerous now. So I need a 4 to get out of here. And I roll a 5. Cycles around. This is therefore blocked. It writes in the available hex. And that whole area there is now blocked off. And this fort is almost impossible to reach. If I get a 2, yes, it's impossible to reach. So I'll cross 1 off on my little counter thing over here, cross the X there, and that is a sad state of affairs. Right, let's go over to this side. We've got this space here where we've got no armies on it, and it's a good chance maybe coming down here. We get a 1, wrong direction. Put an army in there, and then let's roll from this one again. We get a 5. Okay. So that's bad news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this is a dense area where there's been mass fighting and the dark forces have been, and the 5 blocks off this hex. Things aren't looking good. Right, let's try this one here and get to this fort up here. 2. Right, so we follow it round. 1, 2, occupied space. This hex gets blocked off. Not good. We're going to try and roll from this fort. We get a 6, which is a dark army. Cross 1 off there. We'll try again. We need 4 or 5. A 2, another dark army. They're stacking up now, the dark armies. We need a 4 or 5 from this one. We get a 3, which actually should have been marked off as an army. So that's a 3. This cycles around and is blocked off. Wow. Savage. This one here again, 5. Oh, I get a 5. Look at that. There's a 5 in here. You see it there? That takes me out of that area. Right, from here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got 3. I'm going to try from this one. Try from that one. See what happens. 4. Okay, good. 4, 5, 6. Takes me north into this zone here where we've got the fort up there. We get a 1. That takes us north again. I get a few little positive rolls. That are then completely crushed by terrible rolls. 4, 5. We get a 6. Up here, and then I'm going to try and roll from this one again. 4, 5. I get a 1. That was probably not a great tactic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get a rush of blood sometimes. Right, so we're going to roll from this one. Here, 1, 2, 3. A 3 takes us on the forest. So 1, 2, 3. Here. Okay. Going to try from this one here. See if we can go north. Get a 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm trying to run into the forest to take us around that way. Because that 1 there bumped us around to there, so I wrote the 1 in there. Right, going to try from this top one. 4, 5, or 6 would be good. A 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Not the end of the world. Let's try from that original one because I want to try and push through the forest by rolling a 4, 5, or 6. And I roll a 1, which doesn't lead us out anywhere around this edge, apart from into this hex here, which means that this hex is blocked off. I cannot believe it. Okay, let's roll from here. A 1 or 2 is what we need. We roll a 4. That's a dark army. Gone in there, that's a dark army. And then we're going to have on this one a 1 or 2. A 3, which is not great, which cycles it around completely because it's a double from that 3 there. And that 3 goes into here. And that then becomes blocked. And then what we'll do is roll from this same hex again and do 2, 3. This hex is then blocked off because if there's nowhere for it to go, the original hex is blocked. Don't forget that. If you can't go anywhere, the original hex is blocked. Okay, right, so we've got a chance down here. That is kind of blocked off that region. We might try and roll from this one here first. That is kind of stuck in there. If we get a 3, 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, no, you can't get around. It's just too dense. So there's no point rolling from that one there. You need a 3, 2, and then there's not enough sides. It's too many sides. Alright, so let's try this one here. We'll try and get through this spot. 5. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we roll a 5. This one here is a 2, 3 or 4 to take us into this zone. 3 or 4. 5. Here's a double. The last time we rolled was that was the army. And so that's no good. So we've got to cycle around. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is blocked off there. It's not looking good. Let's have a look at this one here. We can roll a 4, maybe go south. We get a 3, which is a dark army. Increasingly as I take more risks, more dark armies appear. Cross one off on the side. I'm going to roll again. Here's, I get a 6. Another dark army goes into here. Cross that off there. I really don't fancy my chances now. And I'm going to try again. A 5, and that brings a 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, which blocks off, because that was a double, blocks off that hex. And then this region is then out of bounds. Right, let's have a quick check on the map itself. Right, so what we've got here is this fort is out of bounds because the numbers that connect to the forest would lead into other zones. So that is out. This one up here is there's a slim possibility we can get through here. This one up here is probably very difficult. This one down here is out of bounds. So we've got to mark 2 off there. We have claimed 1, 2. That one up there is very slim. So let's quickly have a look over here. We can try and get down through this zone. Let's have a zoom in here. Right, so we've got a zone here. If we roll a 1, we go south. We get a 2, which is a terrible roll. That is a double. It cycles round, and we get a blocked hex here. And we can squeeze through this gap. It's like a really narrow gap. The chances of my luck being that good are very slim. What we'll do is we'll try from this one here, 4 or 5. We get a 5. And then this next one here, we're going to do 1 or 2. We get a 5 again. That cycles around to here. And that blocks that off because that's a double. We would have rolled a 5 on that space. Let's try again, 1 or 2. We get a 1. Right, so this space here, I need a 5 or 6 to push me up through this gap. I get a 3, which puts me over here. And because the army's in there, there's more chance of the enemy tracking me now and blocking me off. 5 or 6 is what we need. I get a 2, which is a dark army. Cross that off here, we're getting close. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. 7 more dark armies and we're out. So 5 or 6. A 4, it's a dark army. You still get a 5 or 6. We get a 6. Right, so this one here has less risk. So we'll go for that. We need a 1 or a 2. We get a 3, which isn't so bad. So we get a 3 here. We've got the forest next to it here. 1, 2, 3 takes us up here. Perfect. So we appear out of the forest up at this section here. We need a 1 now to push us out into this zone. If we can make it through this narrow gap, it would be pretty impressive. So 1 from here, and we get a 6. Unfortunately, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brings us out up here, kind of unexpectedly. Now, we could push north here for this fort up here. We could try again from here. If we've got a 6 on that, it will block the original hex. Let's try from this one, see if we can push into here. 1, we get the 1. and that pushes us towards here. I get a 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and that means that hex is blocked. And we've got this one here we can try and roll from. That's terrible. Just when we thought we were making an escape. Right, so we've got this one here. 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And we can circle that one there. And we'll try and roll from this one. 2, we get a 2, which takes us 1, 2, and blocks this one off. Oh my lord. Yeah, see, next to forest you count it around clockwise to this area here, clockwise, and you get that original hex blocked. Again, we've got like a whole bunch of hexes around this here. Really mean. Let's try and roll from this one. 1 or 2. A 1 pushes us up north. It's still possible to kind of come around that top section. So we roll from this one here, 4, 5, will push us up to the north here. A 3, a dark army. Another dark army. And we're going to roll from this top one, 4, 5. A 3 consumes that army. Another dark army there. 4, 5. A 6 takes us through the forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's not a bad result. Okay, so we've gone round the edge of the forest, and now we're nearer this fort here. So we do 4 or 5 from this one. A 4. And we need a 2 to claim this fort, and that would be a miracle. Look at that. Can we do it? We get a 5, takes us north. Can we roll a 2 from here? We get a 1, takes us near the edge of the map. Let's roll from this one. A 4 blocks. That 4 goes off the map. This gets blocked. Let's try and roll from here. We need a 2. Can we do it? A 6. 6 up here. Takes us up there. Doesn't destroy our plans as yet, but it's very risky. It's risky now. Even more risky. Can we roll a 2 from this spot? We get a 3. We could try and roll a 4 from here. We get a 5. God, we're skirting around this. Right, let's try and claim the fort with this one here. We did 6. Can we do it? A 6. And we get a 6. Unbelievable. And we claim that fort. That's our 3rd fort. Now, can we push on to this top fort up here? This game has been epic. We do 4 or 5 from here. We get a 4. And we need a 1 or a 2 from here. We get another 4 and it swings around and blocks this hex up here. We need a 1 or a 2. Can we get a 1 or a 2? We get a 2. Amazing. Can we get a 4? We need a 4 to win the game. This is the last one. This will be my 4th. If I can claim this, I get a 1. We need a 4 from here. Can we do it? A 4! Oh my word. And we claim the fort. That means that we have, on the map here, we have claimed 4 forts. These 2 down here didn't go our way. We've got this one over here. Got that one there. We claimed this one over here with that 2. We claimed that one up here, and we claimed this one in the middle here. Pretty amazing stuff. That is a victory. Very close as well. There were 4 more armies and we would have lost the game. Wow, that's worked out amazing. That is probably the most epic game I've had. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. It lasted a bit longer than expected, but I think it was well worth it. So hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, add them down below. If you haven't subbed already, it'd be awesome if you could. And I will be posting another one of these very soon with the new Marsh expansion rules. So keep an eye on the channel. Thanks again.